Hello guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to my new series, Smash the Download Button or Pass. This is going to be a series where we look at mobile games on the market and I'm going to give you an honest review of them and tell you exactly whether they're worth downloading. The first one that I'm going to be talking about today is a game that I pre-registered for called Mighty Doom. I was pretty excited about this, a Doom mini mobile game, something that I thought would be able to kill the time. I didn't have high expectations for it. I was not expecting a Doom-like clone. But what I got was, I'm going to show you on the screen right now my kind of TLDR thoughts of this. But what I got was essentially Arch Hero Point 2, Arch Hero, whatever you want to say the pronunciation of that game name is. I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of Arch Hero on the side here. Doom, or Mighty Doom, is essentially a full reskin of Arch Hero with some slight extra little bits, but ultimately you're playing the same game. Same item systems, same upgrade systems, same ridiculous monetization system. If you've played Arch Hero before, you're playing nothing new with Mighty Doom. If you have not played Arch Hero before, Mighty Doom is a, in my opinion, slight upgrade on the original. It adds some new things and also obviously brings in that very kind of fun Doom IP. So I'm going to give you a very, very quick TLDR thoughts. If you haven't got the time to watch this entire video and you can't be bothered to skip between all of the timestamps, this is going to be 60 seconds of what I think about this game. Mighty Doom is a fun, cool time-wasting arena shooter that gets frustrating extremely quickly. I'm going to put it very lightly. The game absolutely wants you to pay to progress. Even though it's a single-player game and there is 0 point, and I'm going to stress that 1,000 times, do not give money to Mighty Doom. All you are doing by giving money to Mighty Doom is making the game less fun for you in the long run. There is no point paying to progress in this game. But I understand why people might want to pay to progress in this game, because the game makes it extremely frustrating for you if you don't. There will be points in this game, there will be bosses, there will be gated levels that you just cannot get past without having the correct gear. You can grind for days to pick up that gear, or you can simply pay. And that is ultimately my review of this. It's a fun, time-wasting arena shooter that is a good game to play in bed or play on the toilet, but ultimately you will find yourself getting frustrated rather quickly, and you'll have to end up replaying the same levels over and over again because you simply cannot progress quickly enough and get past certain levels without spending a crap ton of time grinding. So let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. Now we've kind of got that 60-second crap out of the way. The gameplay is pretty simple. Your mini slayer will automatically shoot at the closest enemy. All that you need to control is a joystick in the middle of the screen, quite aptly placed because you can kind of hold your phone in one hand realistically. You can control your joystick in the middle of the screen. This moves your slayer around. Now, the game has obstacles, it has things you want to avoid. It plays a little bit like a bullet hell game, if you've ever played any kind of bullet hell. And, you know, if you don't know what bullet hell is, things like Binding of Isaac, for instance, is kind of a bullet hell. It plays like a bullet hell game. You have to dodge environmental hazards from the enemies, and you have to kind of wait for your auto-attacking mini slayer to deal with the majority of the threats. There are some added little extras. You have a couple of special abilities that you can use, which grant you significant damage boosts or just, you know, extra ways to kill off these enemies. And there are some added little quips, like sometimes you will get a glory kill opportunity, which you'll see on your screen right now. Glory kill gives you a little bit of healing. It plays a little bit like a roguelite game in the sense that every run you are offered certain upgrades, and those upgrades will empower you in various ways, either through your health or your offensive capabilities. I will say that those upgrades are not particularly deep. They pretty much copy Arch Hero's type of upgrades. There aren't any kind of like wildly specific upgrades that are going to change the way you play the game, but you'll get some basics like multi-shot, ricochet bullets, etc. It's designed that you can stack them up and feel very powerful, you know, towards the ender parts of your run. And, you know, realistically, this game is designed for you to get as far as you can until you can't get any further. And you'll find that it's sort of not endless to a sense. There are several stages to a particular level, and once you've completed a certain number of stages, I think it's 40 in total, you'll move up to the next level and you'll repeat that cycle again. And each level introduces new threats, new monsters, new bosses. Throughout each level, there are boss fights, which are harder than your average fight. Obviously, it's a single monster, has lots of different abilities, and you'll have to tackle them in your each individual way. I will say that, especially for the first level, I found that just running in circles, and this is a boss fight right here, I found that just running in circles did the job. Like, you just kind of run around them in circles and it's okay, kind of does the job. But yeah, you'll find that these boss fights are just sort of beefier bosses. They deal more damage, and it provides this kind of gated part of the level. And these are usually the areas where you will get the most stuck on if you don't have the relevant upgrades. The bosses will usually be the major gates for you getting to the next stage of the game. Sometimes you'll find that you'll run into a boss and you just frankly don't have the damage or the HP to be able to deal with it. You take one hit, you're dead. You just can't tickle their HP bar. You'll find that over the course of the game. However, the gameplay is quite fun. It's very casual. It's not designed to be a hardcore game. It is designed, I think, to be a hyper-casual game. But you'll find that you do get a bit frustrated with the gameplay because ultimately the game wants you to spend money to make it easier for yourself. And I'm going to repeat this again. Do not spend money on this game. It will only make it less fun for you in the long run. Right, the out-of-game systems. Progression. This plays very similarly to Arch Hero. There is plenty of things to upgrade. If you are that kind of gamer that likes to upgrade everything that you can see in sight, well, then this is a game that's going to definitely tickle your fancy. You are going to be able to upgrade your armor, your weapons, your secondary weapons, your tertiary weapons. You have a random upgrade system for your general upgrades. And all of these can be monetized. Of course they can, because that is the type of game this is. It has an incredibly predatory monetization system. I am going to repeat again. There is no point spending money on this game, so please do not. There are 3 types of currency. There's energy, silver coin thingies, and purple crystal thingies. The purple crystal thingies are your premium currency, which are obviously used to accelerate certain parts of the game quickly. Your silver coin thingies are what you use for your general upgrades, as well as the kind of the upgrade materials that you get for playing levels through. And then the blue energy bolts. Gosh, they have been around in mobile games forever. That is your, I'm going to stop you playing if you run out of energy levels. And you get a bit of energy when you start the game, but you have max out at 20. I haven't found that energy has been a massive issue for me playing the game. But alas, you can see on your screen, though, that's with the monetization system. It just says, insane value for this particular box. But, you're buying items that will very quickly be irrelevant, and also you're buying items that ultimately you're only using to progress quickly through a you versus computer game, which I just think is completely pointless. But nonetheless, there is plenty to work on, plenty to upgrade, plenty of areas in the game to feel like you're progressing. I think that it is ultimately a little bit overkill, and I do find this whole system rather frustrating because, realistically, if you boil down all these upgrades, it's essentially a way of saying, you need to get a certain threshold before you can pass certain levels. And, it doesn't matter how good you are at dodging and how good you are at bullet hell type games, if you are not capable of getting the upgrade materials that you need to, progress, you're just not going to progress. You will get access to these little boxes. Usually you get given free kind of tickets for these little boxes. Otherwise, they cost the premium currency. And they will then give you kind of items as and when. You can also do that usual thing is like watch an ad for a certain amount of free stuff, which also frustrates the hell out of me. But ultimately, there are lots of things to upgrade. I find this entire upgrade system extremely frustrating. However, I understand why it's there. It's to kind of provide longevity to the game. But the only problem is that, I find that if you're not paying or you're not sort of, I guess, looking to sort of pay extra to upgrade, then ultimately you're going to sort of replay the same levels over and over again until you get enough materials to get the upgrade. Now, there are redemption codes that you can use, as you can see on your screen here. And right at the bottom, it says Slayers Club, log in. Now, if you go to Slayers Club, and you can then make an account on the internet, through the Bethesda website on the internet. Wow, I sounded bloody old. You can log in on your mobile app and it'll grant you a skin and something else. You get some free stuff. And I'm sure if you do some trawling on Reddit or on the internet, there will be redemption codes that come out for this game that will allow you to grab a couple of free things as well. They usually do it when influencers are doing kind of like promotion for the game too. Now, it's going to bring me on to my final point. Smash the download button or pass. This was a hard one because I really dislike this type of monetization system. And I know that it will take advantage of people who want to progress the game quickly. I was very tempted to say pass. However, Archero was popular for a reason. It is quite an addicting gameplay loop. And ultimately, you don't need to, and you shouldn't have to spend money on the game to enjoy it. You can play casually over the course of weeks if you want. Just play sort of 5 minutes at a time, play on the toilet, play in the bed, and you probably won't run into too many issues in terms of how you feel about the game. But you do have to take into account that this game has been designed to make you feel frustrated so that you are more willing to pay for progression. If you're strong and you can avoid that, it's a fun game, and if you've never played Archero, I would definitely recommend you give it a download and play. It's a fun little Doom game that you can give a go, as I said, in your free time. It's not a serious mobile game. You're not going to spend hours and hours and hours on it. Well, you might do. I don't know. But you're probably not going to, enjoy it as much as things like TFT and Wild Rift if you're into those more hardcore games. But it is a game that is well made. It was based on one of the most successful mobile games of all time, so clearly, they're reusing a formula that has already worked. Archero players will probably play this and think this is just exactly the same as the game that I've played for years. I'm probably not that interested, and frankly, I don't blame them. End of the day, this is exactly the same game. It is a carbon copy, except for it's just Doom. However, if you've never played that game and you like the Doom franchise, it's definitely worth a download, definitely worth a play, and so I'm going to give it a certified kind of smash the download button. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. I am going to do more of this, and if you have a game that you want me to check out and give my opinion on, especially games that are new on the market, anything from 2022, 2023 is something that I'm looking to review and have a look at. If you're interested, please drop those comments down below and let me know, and I will look into it and give it a play. Cheers, guys. See you soon. Oh, and if you liked it, feel free to subscribe and like and all that shit. Bye.